Han Ji-won is 35 years old, elegant and composed, but behind her polished appearance lies a woman scarred by betrayal. Recently divorced from her husband of 7 years, she has moved into a quiet apartment complex on the outskirts of Seoul, determined to rebuild her life. She works as a marketing executive, spends her evenings alone with wine and paperwork, and tells herself she doesn't need love anymore. On her very first night in the new apartment, she struggles with her luggage in the narrow stairwell. That's when a voice calls out from above, "Need some help, Nuna?" She looks up to see Min-jae, 19, with messy black hair and the kind of easy smile that makes people trust him immediately. He's her neighbor's son, just starting university. Without waiting for her reply, he rushes down and lifts her heavy suitcase, as if it weighs nothing. Their first conversation is playful. Ji-won, still guarded, thanks him politely. But Min-jae grins and teases. "You don't look like someone who needs saving. Still, you should let people help you sometimes." Ji-won brushes him off, embarrassed by his boldness. After all, he's practically a kid. Days pass, and Min-jae keeps showing up. He offers to help her carry groceries, fixes her flickering light bulb, and even knocks on her door with a bowl of ramen when he notices she hasn't eaten dinner. Ji-won initially finds him annoying, but slowly realizes she looks forward to his interruptions. Unlike her colleagues who tiptoe around her divorce, Min-jae talks to her without pity. The first spark comes one rainy evening. Ji-won returns home after a humiliating encounter with her ex-husband Seo Hyun-woo, who flaunted his engagement to a younger woman. She sits outside her apartment, crying quietly, when Min-jae appears holding an umbrella. He doesn't say much, just sits beside her, letting the rain patter around them. After a long silence, he finally says, "Why cry over someone who didn't see your worth? If I were him, I'd never let you go." Ji-won freezes at his words. Her heart stirs, confused and flustered. She reminds herself he's 19, too young, too reckless. But that night, she can't sleep. His voice echoes in her mind. As weeks pass, their interactions grow warmer. Min-jae invites her to his band's small university performance. She goes reluctantly, sitting at the back. When he sings, his gaze lingers on her longer than anyone else, as if the song belongs to her alone. She feels a rush she hasn't felt in years, excitement, danger, desire. One late night, Ji-won finds herself locked out of her apartment after forgetting her keys. Min-jae offers his place until the locksmith arrives. His room is messy, filled with posters and books. She sits awkwardly on his bed while he makes instant coffee. Their conversation turns unexpectedly deep. He confesses that people always underestimate him because of his age, but he knows what he wants in life. Then he looks at her and says softly, "And right now, I want you." Ji-won panics, scolding him for being childish. She storms out as soon as her door is unlocked, but in the privacy of her room, she can't hide her trembling hands. For the first time in years, she feels alive, desired, seen. Ji-won attends a neighborhood gathering, only to be confronted again by her ex-husband, who mocks her for living like a lonely old woman. She excuses herself early, shaken. As she walks home, Min-jae catches up to her, grabbing her wrist. "Don't listen to him," he insists. She tries to pull away, but he steps closer, his eyes burning with sincerity far beyond his years. "You're not old. You're not unwanted. If anything, you've never looked more beautiful." Ji-won stares at him, breathless. She knows this is wrong, dangerous, unacceptable. But when his hand brushes hers, she doesn't pull away. The air between them is charged, the line trembling, about to break. The air between them has shifted. After that night when Min-jae told Ji-won she was beautiful, nothing feels the same. Ji-won tries to go back to her normal routine, convincing herself it was just an impulsive moment. But every time she sees him in the stairwell, by the elevator, outside with his guitar, her heart betrays her. The awareness is constant. One evening, Ji-won stays late at work. The office is quiet, city lights glowing outside the window. She scrolls through her phone, hesitating on Min-jae's name, before shaking her head. "What am I even thinking?" she mutters. Just then, her phone buzzes. It's a message from him. "Nuna, are you eating? Want me to bring food?" She types no and puts the phone down. But less than an hour later, he shows up outside her office with takeout, grinning. Over dinner, their conversation flows easily, laughter breaking through Ji-won's guarded walls. When she mentions her divorce again, he suddenly leans forward. "You talk about him too much. Forget him. Look at me instead." Ji-won's breath catches. She pushes her food away, mutters that he's too young to understand, but his gaze doesn't waver. Their first kiss happens soon after, unexpected, unstoppable. Ji-won comes home late one night, tipsy from wine, and finds Min-jae waiting on the steps, guitar in hand. He admits he wrote a song for her. She laughs it off, but when he begins to sing softly under the dim streetlight, she feels tears prick her eyes. The lyrics are clumsy but sincere, full of admiration and longing. When the song ends, she whispers, "You shouldn't say things like that." But before she can move away, he leans in, kissing her gently, almost cautiously. She doesn't resist. From that night, the boundary breaks. Their secret romance begins quietly, stolen moments in hallways, whispers in stairwells, late-night walks that end with lingering touches. For Ji-won, it's terrifying and exhilarating. She's never felt this wanted, this alive. For Min-jae, it's all-consuming. He dives headfirst, unafraid of consequences. But secrecy is fragile. At the university festival, Ji-won tries to keep her distance, watching Min-jae perform from the crowd. After the show, he ignores his friends and runs straight to her, hugging her tightly. A few students notice. Whispers begin. Later, Naeun, the childhood friend who secretly loves Min-jae, confronts Ji-won. "You know how this looks, right? He's just a boy. You're ruining him." The words sting. Ji-won insists she'll step back, but that night Min-jae shows up at her apartment, angry. "Why are you always running? Why are you so ashamed of me?" He pushes past her protests, kissing her with raw, desperate passion. She melts into him, unable to deny what she feels. Their intimacy deepens. Ji-won discovers a side of herself she thought was long gone. Playful, daring, vulnerable. In his arms, she forgets her age, her past, her fears. But reality keeps clawing at the edges. At work, a colleague hints she's been seen with a very young man. At home, her ex-husband reappears, smugly warning her that she'll end up alone if she keeps embarrassing herself. The turning point comes when Min-jae skips an important university exam just to be with Ji-won on her birthday. He surprises her with candles, flowers, and a clumsy cake. For a while, everything feels perfect. They laugh, they dance, they collapse together in bed. But the next morning, Ji-won wakes up to a message from Naeun. "He failed his test because of you. Is this love, or are you just selfish?" Guilt floods her. She confronts Min-jae, demanding he focus on school, on his future. He argues back fiercely. "Why is it always about the future? What about now? I want you now. Isn't that enough?" Ji-won breaks down, confessing her deepest fear. "You'll regret me. One day, you'll wake up and realize, I'm just a mistake you made when you were 19. Min-jae holds her tightly, whispering, "If you're a mistake, then I'll never want to be right."